Hi everybody, Miss Hoffman here again today with another video lesson, and hopefully this will be the last one because I should be back tomorrow. I'm so excited to finally be back and meet all of you guys. I know I've only missed a few days, but it feels like forever. The beginning of school is always so, jam-packed and so exciting and everything that I feel like it's been like weeks since I've been there. This is going to be a short lesson. I know that you guys have a weird schedule today with math and everything. I think class was only like 35 minutes. So I'm not going to take up too much of your time because there is something I need y'all to do at the end of class as well. I'm just going to jump right in. Today we are going to talk a little bit about what you're going to learn in this class. I kind of mentioned that before in the first video, but I'm going to go into a little bit more detail today. Excuse me. And I'm going to give you some reminders first. So, first of all, tomorrow, make sure that you bring your book money. If you did want a new textbook, remember those are $15. If you pay the $15, it's yours to keep. If you don't, and you're just going to rent one out of the classroom library, remember that it may be used, maybe highlighted in, written in, things like that. It's not going to be in bad condition, like it's not going to be falling apart. It's just going to be a used book. So consider that if you want your own and you want to keep it, you want to make sure you can write in it and do all sorts of stuff, then you're going to want to pay the $15 to get a new one. I did not order new ones this year. I may have mentioned this last time. I have the ones that are left over from last semester. So I do have a good amount of new books, but I don't have enough new ones for everybody. So unless we just all come to the consensus that everybody wants a brand new book, I may have to order some more, and you guys might have to borrow some classroom books for the time being. But we can figure all of that out tomorrow, whenever I'm here, or Wednesday, if this is when you have class again on Wednesday. Also, make sure you bring your syllabus back, signed, that class contract page that talks about how you understand you've read everything, you know about the time requirements for speeches and stuff like that. Make sure you sign that, and make sure your parent signs that. I don't need the whole syllabus back. I don't need the page that explains everything about the class to you. I just need the class contract. And if you have a signature that I won't be able to read just by looking at it, please write your name somewhere else on the top or something like that. That way I know who's turned it in. So today, talking just a little bit about what you're going to learn in this class and why it's important. I talked a little bit about how speech is like acting in a way, because you're not always going to want to get up and give a speech. And I understand that. Trust me. Being a little bit, you can hear my sinuses under the weather here. It's not easy to sit and make a video, especially being pregnant. The baby's sitting on my diaphragm, having trouble breathing, so it's not always comfortable. But I'm going to do it anyway because I don't want to waste class time for you guys. I want you to be able to, have a lesson and start learning right away. So, just got to grin and bear it. And that's sort of what we're going to learn in this class, is techniques on how to help yourself either, get over the fear that you might have or any anxieties, or just ways to cope when you don't really feel like getting up and doing it. This is going to apply really well to your job in the real world. You know how sometimes you go into a class and you're like, when am I ever going to use this in the real world? Public speaking is everywhere. I challenge you to think of a job where you would not have to use public speaking skills. One of the things that I say in the syllabus is that whether you're talking to one person one-on-one, or you're talking to 100 people, 1,000 people, you have to treat it the same way. If I'm having a one-on-one meeting with a client, let's say that I'm a car salesperson, which I've done before, you still have to treat that person that you're talking to as if you were talking to an entire room full of people and giving a presentation. It's slightly different, but I still have to exhibit the same skills, and I have to show that I am a competent speaker, that I am a respectful person, that I respect the other person's time, and show them that I know what I'm doing. So we're going to learn things about proper physicality, ways to hold yourself, to make yourself seem confident, even if you're not, ways to not be wibble wobbling all over the place. And I know I'm kind of a busy bee with my hands and my head and everything here, but I will show you some of the differences when we get into class. In fact, next time, be ready to jump in because we are going to start on chapters 1 and 2, and we're going to get through them all in one class period. So I told you that the book is small. The book is really only about this big, and it only has 8 chapters, and we skip chapter 3 because it's all about research and citing your sources and stuff like that. We don't really do any of that. So I've actually given the book to the English teachers. Some of them might be using it this year. I don't know. But chapters 1 and 2, are all about starting the speech and overcoming nerves, things to do, things not to do, that you need to know just to start out. So I kind of told you about the structure of this class and how it's 3 weeks at a time. These first 3 weeks are a little rough for some people because it's just a lot of chapter work. And I know that sounds so boring. I promise. I know. But when you really think about it, you have to learn how to do the things before you can do them. So I couldn't just say, write a speech. I mean, I guess I could, but, how many of you would really feel confident if I just said, okay, go out and write a speech right now, and then we're going to present it in 2 weeks? Probably not, right? You'd probably be like, I feel like I don't know anything about speeches. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the whole book first. It's not a lot. I can get through chapters 1 and 2 in one day. Then we go over chapter 8. Then we go over chapters 4, 5, and 6 in the same day because they're all very, very short. So it goes pretty fast. We don't talk about chapter 7 until later because it's about visual aids. And when we do our persuasive speech, that's where we'll put all that together. But, yeah, it goes fast. So I know it's a lot. It's a lot of, chapter questions and stuff. But just bear with me. Once you get through these 3 weeks of working on the book and learning how to write a speech, then it's all you. Then you get to sit down and work on your speeches every day. Ask me questions. We'll go over them and things like that. So I was talking about why all of this is important. And I want to really put emphasis on job interviews. You're going to have an interview for a job. Whether it's just a really casual interview, one-on-one, you just kind of answer some questions for a person, or if it's going to be like a group interview, it just depends on the job. But I would say 9.5 times out of 10, you're going to have a formal interview with a boss of some sort or a manager. First impressions are very important. It takes 7 seconds for someone to form a first impression about you. That's not a long time. In fact, if you want me to wait, I'll count 7 seconds right now. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's it. Within that time, someone can form a first impression of you. Now, I'm not saying that that's a good thing. It kind of is a bad thing because that means that we're jumping to conclusions, but that's how our brains work. If you saw a person walking down the street and they were missing a shoe and their shirt had holes in it and one of their pants legs was rolled up and their hair was all crazy, you would probably not form a good first impression of that person. You might think, are they okay? Did something happen to them? Maybe they're dangerous. But they could be a billionaire that just happened to dress like that day and not care about their appearance, and you would never know. But our brains form to those conclusions. So not always a positive thing, but it is going to happen, so you need to be aware of that. So whenever you are first walking into a job interview or anywhere where you need to present yourself well and you need to show confidence, you need to make sure you're physically holding yourself well, that you're smiling, that you're giving a good facial impression, and that person doesn't see you and go, ooh, I don't know about that person. Handshakes are another important thing that we're going to talk about this semester because a handshake is part of our cultural first impressions. I hate what I call the dead fish, and that's when you go to shake hands with somebody and their hand is just limp. and it just wiggles around. We're going to do this in class. We'll use plenty of hand sanitizer, but I'll show you what a firm, nice, I can't shake hands with myself, handshake feels like versus offering someone the dead fish and your hand just kind of flopping around in there. Doesn't form a good first impression. It also just shows respect. Whenever you're able to speak well and project your voice to where people can hear you, smile, have good facial expressions, and good body posture, it shows a self-respect and it shows a respect for the other person. If I did all my videos back here and I just, scratched my head and didn't look at the camera and didn't talk very loud, maybe I mumbled a lot, that doesn't really show that I care a lot about this video. It kind of shows that I'm reluctant to do it, and that's going to give you a bad first impression of me. So we're going to talk more about all that in chapters 1 and 2 as well. But like I said, everything in your life, pretty much, any job, any big important speech that you may have to give, it's all going to boil back down to learning these good public speaking techniques. I'm also going to talk to you about how to overcome fear and nervousness. One of the number one fears in the world is public speaking, and you'll learn that in the beginning of chapter 1. He says sometimes the fear even ranks higher than death on people's ranks of fear. So a little crazy. I don't want you to feel that way. You're not going to die, I promise. You're not going to cry either, if you may feel like that. I promise you, it's going to be a-okay. Excuse me. I think I'm going to stop there for the day because I've already been talking for almost 12 minutes now, and I don't want to completely fry your brains in this first day. I know we've only got 30 or so minutes of class. So I'm just going to leave you with a couple more reminders, and then we will jump in tomorrow and Wednesday on chapters 1 and 2. A couple of things that I didn't mention because I didn't know about what days they were going to be because I had to schedule around everything else that's going on right now. I am the drama club sponsor. I think you probably figured that out. I said I teach drama if you're not in my drama class. We are going to have our first meeting on Tuesday afternoon, right after school, in this room. So come on by and join us if you're interested in drama. Even if you don't know if you are or not, come see. If you're not, it's okay. It's not going to hurt my feelings. You don't have to sign up and make a commitment right then and there. You can just come learn what everything is about, and hopefully you'll stick with us. We're also having some auditions for the one-act play. That's our competition that we do in the fall. Hopefully those are going to be Friday. That's my tentative date right now. You will have to prepare some stuff for that, but if you come to the meeting, I can tell you a little bit more about all that stuff you're going to need to know. And then just the one last reminder, again, make sure you have book money tomorrow and you have your syllabus. You're also going to want something to take notes on. Notebook paper is fine, but we are going to be talking about 2 chapters tomorrow and Wednesday, so make sure that you are prepared to take some notes if you're someone that likes to take notes. I am sad that I can't get you the book a little bit ahead of time so that you can read ahead. I know some of you guys like to do that, but I promise you it's not too hard. We go over the whole chapter, and then you'll have your books tomorrow and Wednesday, so you should be able to take them home and reread the chapters if you need to. Again, when I say chapter, I'm talking like 10 pages. It's not a whole lot. So yeah, just real short overview here. We're going to go a little bit more into body language and all that good stuff in chapter 8. But for chapter 1 and 2, we're just going to be talking about beginning the speech and the basic model of communication. So I cannot wait to see you all again. And the assignment that I wanted you to do today to give you a little bit of time, if you could please, once this video is over, arrange yourselves in alphabetical order by last name in the desks. All of the desks are numbered numerically 1 through, I think I have 17. I'm really hoping that that's not causing an issue with the amount of people in my classes. I know that there were 19 at one point in one class, so we may have to get you guys some chairs, and I will figure that out when I get back for sure. Hopefully, maybe it's already been a resolved issue. But if you could please take these next few minutes and in alphabetical order, starting with number 1, going all the way back, please seat yourselves in alphabetical order. I'm not very good with names, and I'm going to need a lot of help. So if I have you in alphabetical order, then it'll be a lot easier for me to learn your names, and then we can have a different seating chart after that. But at least for the first couple of weeks, I like to have everybody sit that way so I can associate name with face, and then I don't call you the wrong thing because that's always so embarrassing. I just have really bad goldfish memory. So if you could all do that for me, arrange yourselves in alphabetical seating. Don't forget about your book money and your syllabus. Then I will see you on Tuesday, and I'm so excited. So, see you then.